Time for our feature segment today, and we feature one of the great track announcers, used to be one of the great track announcers in the country. It's John Curran, John, Delaware Park. Now 37 years, you decided to hang up the microphone. First of all, I want to congratulate you on a great career. John, I want to take you back. Your first race call. Tell us about how you prepared. Did you practice for it? How did the circumstances come back 37 years ago that you had a chance to be in the booth?
Well, I sort of broke into broadcasting at a kind of a late age, around 27 years old. I decided I'm going to give it a try, and I got a radio gig, and I got another radio gig near Atlantic City Racetrack in Hamilton, and you know what? I'm going to spend the summer practicing on my race calls because I did when I was a kid, off the TV. You know, the old races from Wynn Elliott in New York, and you're calling them off the TV, and I kind of had fun doing that. And I grew up in a racetrack environment. My next door neighbor was Phil Aristone, who was a trainer here at Philadelphia Park. I lived 3 miles away from Garden State Park, used to go to the track all the time. So it was just kind of in my blood, I really loved horse racing. So I said, I'm going to give it a try. And after about a summer of practicing in Atlantic City, Bob Weems was the announcer down there. He went back and forth. I finally got a chance to call a race there because they were looking for an assistant announcer to do the first 2 races each night there. And I got the job. And I was going to call the last race one day. They wanted to see how I called the race I got. And the last race at Atlantic City, it was dark. And the horses were coming on the track about 3 minutes to post, and they're galloping out there. And I think I knew 5 or 6 horses that went to the gate, and I was scared, really scared. And I turned to the guy who was leaving town to go out for, I think it was one of the West Coast guys, one of the West Coast announcers. I can't remember his name right now. Anyhow, I looked at him, and he already packed up his binoculars and all, so I got to call this race. So there's a load at the gate. I say, I know about 7 horses out of the 11 in the field. Fortunately, I knew the first 5 down the backstretch, and I got through the race there, but it was really panic time. And once I got through it, I said, I can do this. I know I can do it. And it took a while. It took a couple years at Atlantic City Racetrack, and then I got the job at Delaware Park. So it went from there.
John, it's funny you say that because I was never so nervous in my whole life as that first race call that I called back at Garden State. Let's fast forward 37 years, John. Can you tell us your feelings, your emotions as you got prepared and called that last race of your career?
Well, it was a funny day. I wanted to announce it before the meet ended like that because, the last couple of winters I've been kind of like planned it. I'll see what happens next year. And I just wanted to make sure, okay, I'm going to retire at the end of this year. So, yeah, it was kind of a fun day. It was hectic, but it was fun because I got to meet a lot of people. I was taking pictures with people, young people too. A guy and his daughter, 19-year-old daughter, wanted to get my, 2 young guys made a poster for me, 20-year-old guys from college. And usually you see a lot of older people saying things, but a lot of younger people were there too. So it was kind of cool.
John, you got to call some really neat horses down there, early career of Fleet Alex, Barbaro. Do you have a favorite race all through those years?
The Barbaro race took me by surprise because I bet the race before. It was a maiden special race on the turf. And they were coming onto the track there, and I'm looking at the horses go by, and I'm saying, ooh, this horse looks really good. I mean, like really good, and he was like 10-1 on the board. So I had to go run down and bet him real quickly before the race, to back up my bets here. And you could just tell he was a special horse. He won by 10 lengths, I think, that day. Yep. But it was a turf race, and he ran on the turf his first 3 races.
Oh, yeah, no, he was great
and
turf
finally,
horse.
I knew that he could run well in the dirt, so I went to Vegas. I like to bet future books in Vegas, like you do occasionally.
Yes, I do.
And I saw him at 85-1 on one book there, so I bet him in the future book there.
Nice.
It was kind of a nice bet there, and he proved to be such a great horse there. But you can just tell the first time out of the box when you see a really good horse.
You guys have seen hundreds of thousands of them. A particular race like a Del Cap, was there one that stands out for you?
I think the Delaware Handicap of 2011 featured Havre de Grace and Blind Luck. And they were 1-2 in the Delaware Oaks, ran head-to-head all the way around the track. They came back in the Delaware Handicap, and it was quite a race there. It was probably my favorite race to call because they were head-to-head all the way down the stretch again. You hardly see any rematches anymore of horses, rivalries like that. It was fun. Blind Luck won by nose once again, but Havre de Grace wound up being Horse of the Year that year. So that is an exceptional race. I think it was voted the Race of the Year.
John, again, I congratulate you on a great career, and now I wish you the very best as you turn to the next chapter of your life, and I hope the next chapter is as successful as your career was as a race caller. All the best to you, from me to you personally.
Thank you.
Take care and all the best. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.